Welcome to the Lift and Glow Fitness Podcast, the health and fitness podcast for women who want to look great and feel great for good. Whether your goal is to lose weight, build muscle, or you just want to be the healthiest version of yourself, the advice that we share here is going to help you do that by building habits that stick without sucking the fun out of your life. Before we get stuck in today's episode, please make sure to hit subscribe so that you don't miss any future episodes from us. Okay, so one thing that some of the girls in Lift and Glow mentioned and wanted us to talk about was sleep. So the importance of sleep, but also how to get better sleep. I feel like sleep's like one of those underestimated things that people don't realise is important. And like they try and cheat sleep or try and survive off not very much sleep without realising like the impact on their health, but also like a journey for fat loss or muscle growth. It's really hard to have a smooth journey for fat loss or muscle growth if you're not sleeping enough.
Massively. When I first started my fitness journey, like however many years ago it was now, like I didn't think sleep was a big thing at all. And like I used to think doing back-to-back gym classes after a full day in uni or work, whenever it was. So like I'd go and do like a HIIT class at 8 and then I'd do a spin class at 9 and like wouldn't leave the gym till 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But then you'd be back up at like 7, but I'd go home and have my tea then dead late. And
Yeah.
it was just like you were constantly like chasing your own tail and catching up with it. Whereas I feel like I didn't realise my body wasn't recovering. I wasn't resting. My brain wasn't switching off. Like it's just, I think it is so underestimated, especially for people who are just starting out. They don't realise, as well as like eating a calorie deficit and eating your protein, like sleep is just as important as all that as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely forgotten about. I definitely tried to cheat it so much. Like when I was working full time and PTing, it was like 3-4 hours a night I was getting. And it took me to the point where I was like literally so anxious that I was having panic attacks. I was like, something's not right with me here. Like I'm working, I'm training, I'm eating well, but like obviously I'm not feeling good. And I started looking into sleep and Matthew Walker, Why We Sleep. I think that's what it's called. Matthew Walker, Why We Sleep. I learned a lot about sleep there. And then that was like, right, sleep has got to be a priority. But that's like for overall health. That's like your general health and well-being. But when it comes to like fat loss and muscle growth, I think people like underestimate how much it can impact you. So if you don't sleep enough, that's going to affect your energy levels. Therefore, that affects your ability to train well. It also affects your appetite. So if you're not sleeping well, you are more likely to have cravings. And so it's harder to stay. Yeah, you want chocolate, you want sugar, you want like little hits of energy.
Things that are going to keep you going.
Yeah, like that's it, like little bits of sugar so that you can like, I don't know, you've just got like these little boosts of energy, but then you're living off sugar crashes. So like these uptakes and then like sugar crashes, caffeine as well. You end up surviving off caffeine. I know we've all literally done that.
Today.
You're probably doing that today. Thank you. But you're 3. I know I'm on 3 coffees a day. That's why I'm all. So yeah, and I think also, so there's cravings, your energy levels, but also recovery. Like if you're trying to grow muscle, if you're trying to build muscle,
They're not repairing, are they?
Sleep is so essential for you to your muscles to recover and repair and to come back stronger and bigger. So it is so important and it's massively underestimated. I think as well there's been studies on like, you know, people who do shift work and air stewardess, cabin crew. They're not air stewardesses anymore, are they?
No, I think it is cabin crew
It
now,
is cabin
isn't
crew,
it?
yeah. Because that's like
the PC thing to say.
Yeah. Cabin crews, because there's men and women cabin crew.
I used to be air hostess. That's what
Air
you used to be
hostess,
doing,
Air hostess.
I like the way you dress.
Do you not know that song?
No.
Shut up.
You don't know? That was the loudest shut up ever.
You don't know that song?
It reverberated around the room. So air hostess, isn't it
Busted?
You don't know.
I know Busted are, but I don't know. Maybe yours were just out of tune.
I had their album.
You were out of tune. No, I loved Busted. Busted were the one.
Busted
No,
and
I
the Fly.
actually did like Busted, but I'd honestly, air hostess, like,
That's
no,
not
that
one.
went over my head.
Yeah, so anyway, cabin crew, they did like study on like, people who just their job prevents them from sleeping enough. And it did have like detrimental effects to the health, like even like heart health and stuff like that.
Because I know when I did shifts, I was in a bad space.
Well, I felt it like not having, because it was like a good run of a few months, like, well, it was maybe like 6 to 9 months of living on like no sleep, just caffeine and like adrenaline, I felt so literally like I was going to have a heart attack. And like when you do have panic attacks, you do feel like you're going to die, like your heart and your ears and everything. And I was like, I can't believe that not getting enough sleep. Like
it's causing all this.
Yeah.
I think like obviously you said about your heart and stuff, that obviously that is all physical.
Yeah.
But it's your mental health as well.
Mental
like
well-being.
Obviously your anxiety, you're stressed, you're constantly on edge because your body's on overdrive. So you just you feel, I don't know, like I feel like you overthink everything and
well, because
everything seems 10 times harder because you are so tired.
Definitely. And the way your muscles need sleep to recover, your brain does. And that's even more important. Like if you're not getting enough sleep, whether that's because of alcohol or you just don't get enough hours in bed, it can really, like your brain is not recovering. It's not getting that deep sleep, that REM sleep that it needs to be able to like process your life and like recover and be refreshed. Like we see it in new mums, don't we? We all see it in new mums. Like it's so hard for them to not, like it's so hard for them to get enough sleep, and it really can, like, you know, up until their baby's like 2 years old, 3 years old, if they've had that long of like disturbed sleep, not enough sleep, like it's like a high risk stage of life for a woman, like, because
and you're still expected to do everything, aren't you? And just like
still
crack on as normal,
to like carry on,
especially when the partner goes back to work and you've got to do everything. You're like, whoa,
and like also like, you know, be happy and energetic and be a good mom and maybe
be in your baby bubble,
go back to work and stuff like that. But your brain is just not not able to do what it needs to do, like without that recovery. So it's so hard. And obviously, I think like for new mums listening to this, these tips, a lot of them, they might not work for you, or like right now in this stage of your life, there might be things that we say that you're like, well, there's no way I can do that.
It's all well and good, but it's not going to work for me.
But hopefully your sleepless nights are just temporary for like a couple of years.
This is what I found, like quite a lot of my clients, like when they check in and they say, oh, my sleep's been like, I don't know, 5 to 7 hours, but it's because the toddler's been up every night this week. And I say, like, when we talk about things we can improve the following week, you feel like you're always saying sleep, but I'm always like, we know we can improve on your sleep, but we know it's not because you're not doing the things that you need to do. It's just because that is unfortunately like the way your life is at the moment, but hopefully
and you can't get away from it.
The toddler will grow.
You can't be like, all right, I'll just give this baby back. Like, it's like, and also it's a phase of your life which a lot of women choose to go through, want to go through. Maybe some don't, but it's a part of your life that you do have to just kind of get through and survive. Like I say to new mums all the time, this time of your life might not be about thriving. It's literally about surviving. Yeah. And I feel like that's how I feel about when I wasn't really sleeping. It was because of work and it was because of always being so busy and always putting everything first. I felt like maybe I wasn't meant to like thrive in that time. I was meant to like survive it in order to be able to like start making changes and
get
begin
to where you
thrive.
are
now. So sleep is so important just for your physical health, for your mental health, but also if you want to lose fat, if you want to build muscle,
it's like paramount,
essential, and it just can't be neglected. So what type of things can affect, other than a baby, what type of things can impact sleep, like sleep quality or how much sleep you get?
Stress.
Yeah.
Like if you've got like family stress, friendships, work, relationship, whatever. Like if you've got a lot on your mind, like say you've got like a big deadline coming up or, you know, something in your family that's quite traumatic going on or whatever, like that can obviously really impact your sleep because you're struggling to switch off, aren't you? So it's like trying to find ways that you can handle that stress and sort of lessen it as much as you can to try and stop that impacting your sleep too much.
I think like as well, so say if you are going through a difficult period of time, so like to now you've split up with someone or you've lost someone or work or whatever, because I've definitely, like I remember when I was opening the gym, I was waking up in the night and not being able to get to sleep. My brain was so full and I was worrying about the weirdest things. I was like, why is my
stuff you wouldn't even think of.
And like what you have to remember is that that's like a norm. Your brain's just trying to process all of the stuff that's happening. And I feel like don't stress about the sleep and thinking, oh my God, I'm going to die because I'm not getting enough sleep. Your brain, you can handle periods of time with not getting enough sleep.
As long as it's not forever.
But it still means we need to try and address the stress and do something about the stress or find better ways of managing it. So how could we manage stress?
suppose like some people, I'm personally still trying to get used to it if I ever try it, but like journaling and stuff like that. Like I know you journal, don't you?
I don't religiously anymore, but if I'm having a difficult day, I'm like this. There's like steam coming off.
Whereas like we know some girls in the gym, like they religiously journal every day, don't they, and stuff.
So wasn't Gemma saying she's done it for 17 or
35 years?
I think it was 35 years, yeah. And then she's posted in the group chat about how she'd started writing a book about how to journal,
isn't she?
Yeah.
Wow. 35 years. I do remember thinking. Yeah, I think she did.
Mm. Maybe she was just exaggerating.
No, she wouldn't.
No, I mean, like, how old is she?
She's older than 35.
Is she?
I think maybe in her 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe when she was a kid, started keeping a diary, which people do, don't they?
I used to have a little Crayola diary when I was little.
I mean, Matthew McConaughey wrote a diary for when he was a kid.
Did he?
Yeah. Oh. Have you not read this book?
No.
Green Lights. It's quite good. Recommend.
I would as well.
It's interesting, yeah. Or listen to it because his voice is gorgeous.
I know. He's just gorgeous.
It's like his sleep story ones.
Yeah, his sleep story on the Calm app is great. Speaking of the Calm app.
Oh, there you go.
What a great way to help manage stress.
As we digress. Yeah.
That was a good segue. No, I think the Calm app or Headspace, I've never actually used Headspace.
Yeah.
I've used the Calm app.
Yeah.
The Calm app is like, it is relaxing and it does actually
it's
help.
nice. It's good. But even not just for the sleep stories, but for managing stress in general. So obviously journaling's one way to manage stress, but meditation. And I think I probably do bouts of meditation more so that, I do more than journaling now. I can just sit and breathe in and try and find calm. I used to find, especially when like this time when I was working full time and PTing and struggling with sleep and just generally unwell.
Everything.
I really found meditation like very, very impossible. I hated it. And then I realised that it's a practice. So you're not meant to be good at it straight away. And so the Calm app is just like 10 minutes of calm every morning. Just sitting there listening to it. And it even says to you, it's a different thing every day, different topic every day. But it even says to you, don't worry if you get distracted, but try and catch yourself and come back. That's what meditation is. So I think people think that meditation is meant to be, I'm sitting here, I'm calm, and my brain is empty, but it's not. The practice of meditation is about your mind wanders. It's about bringing it back. It's about catching it and bringing it back and not getting carried away with your thoughts, like kind of letting them go.
I've never meditated, no.
No.
Not the way that you do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it all
would you?
Yeah, there's meditations
so
at the end of yoga.
Yeah, so like I've done it in that sense, but I haven't just sat on the couch. Doing it myself.
And I think people think as well, you have to sit there like this.
I know.
I'd have my eyes open, listening to this thing, just breathing and listening, and
So I found
hugging
it
my
like-
cup of coffee, and just it's just a calm way to start the day.
You know, at the end of a yoga class when they're like, put one hand on your heart and like just close your eyes, I'm like,
That's my favourite
That's what
bit.
I'm like, no. See, my head falls off a little bit like that.
Too,
I feel like
I
need meditation. Chaos.
Yeah, no, but if that is uncomfortable for you, I honestly believe that means you need meditation.
I'll be
if your
sat there and they'll be
brain
like,
can't-
say namaste. No.
I say this to Fran. I do the and everything. I'm like,
no, is it when they go, what is it, like you breathe in and then,
all that huge eye breaths or whatever it's called.
I'm the one person that's probably going, looking from side to side.
No, I get fully engrossed in the yoga experience. I used to get really embarrassed. So when we used to have it in your gym, like the old gym, I used to get really embarrassed by it.
Like, you're like, I can't make that noise.
Yeah, I used to be like, oh my God, like, and then when people around to be like, oh, what are they doing? Whereas now I'm like doing the big arms and saying the namaste and doing all the rest.
I'd love to be that person.
But it works. I think like it does all work. They say it for a reason. It's like the breaths, like they have breaths that heat you up, breaths that like energize you. But anyway, meditation is like a great way to manage stress. And I feel like if you're really, really uncomfortable sitting there with your thoughts, then that's a signal that you probably need to get better at managing your thoughts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think, and meditation is a way to do that because I couldn't. Like, I was sitting there itching, I was getting all frustrated. I was like, ugh, like it was really
like, too
pissing me off.
Too many things to do rather than sitting here kind of thing.
Yeah, like really pissing me. No, too many things to think about. It was just like pissing me off. Whereas I just carried on with it, just kept doing it each day,
weird.
especially during lockdown. I feel like lockdown was when I properly got into it. What other ways do we feel like we could manage stress?
I think by setting yourself like a strict bedtime. Like,
yeah.
Oh, sorry, stress. Like, we don't sleep. Sorry, I just realised.
Oh, yeah, yes. Well, yeah, I'm still thinking of stress because we're talking...
Stress, What do we say? Journaling, mine.
So journaling, meditation. Oh yeah, organising.
Get a productivity planner.
No, I genuinely think keeping your house in order.
Yeah.
I know this is hard. Again, if you've got kids and loads of people who live
What
with
is
you.
it? Tidy house, tidy mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I do think it really makes a difference.
Yeah.
If my like space is cluttered, I don't feel good.
Cluttered, yeah.
And like I just feel like all a little bit scatty all over the place.
I'm the same. Like Michael will walk in and I'll be like just raging. Like I'll just be in a mood for no reason, but it's because I'm like, I need to hoover.
Yeah.
That's like I just get so
Or you come
wound
in
up
from
with
work
myself.
and the sink's full of dishes. It's like,
yeah, but then you don't want to do it. So you don't do it and you procrastinate and then it all gets worse. And I definitely think like keeping your house in order is one, or like, just organising your life.
Yeah.
Like
to-do lists and stuff.
Yeah. I think obviously yoga. So people who are like the people who I work with who are stressed, I'm always recommending a good sleep routine, obviously, which we'll talk about in a sec. Yoga, meditation, journaling. You don't have to do all of those things, but maybe just choose one to have a go at. So before bed every night, could you try 10 minutes of yoga or 10 minutes of journaling or 10 minutes of meditation? Or it could be last thing at night or first thing in the morning. Depends. Like if you're struggling to switch off, then last thing at night. I also think like a brain dump. So you could say that this is journaling, but if I'm like really busy and have a lot on, I'll do like a bit of a brain dump about what needs to be done the next day. Because then I'm not lying in bed going, I need to remember to do this. And
or
this
you're going to forget
and that. It's all there and I'm not going to forget. I can just kind of let it go. And apparently the action of like writing that down actually takes it out your brain, which is I think why journaling works well. Okay, so that's stress. Like managing stress will help with sleep. So what are the tips have we got to sleep? So you said regular bedtime.
Yeah, bedtime routine. I'm not routine, like sleep time.
Yeah.
It's like that's something I never really used to have, and I know we're all guilty of it, like sitting on your phone on the sofa, scrolling on Instagram till 11 o'clock at night, or you get the Netflix, go on to the next episode. But as soon as it gets to, like you said before in the car, didn't you? Like once it hits like whatever time it is, your bedtime routine needs to start. So now I always say like I want to try and be in bed for 10. Like I know I won't be asleep until 10:30, 11, but I used to not go to bed till 11.
Sammy, you need to go to bed before 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I feel like that's a bit late for you.
But if I don't finish work till late, it's impossible.
No, it is possible. You have to shift your
Go home and have me
priorities.
tea.
No, I feel like you get up at 5, love. You need to go to bed sooner than that.
No, that's why I'm sick. But
That is why you're sick.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, because obviously I've lived that like PT life as well, and it is hard, and you do feel like you want time to yourself to like sit and unwind. But 10
I feel like it's not even that though. Like I don't sit. Like I'll get in, I'll have me tea, have a shower, prep me food for the next day, like, prep me oats or whatever, and then
it's 10 o'clock.
I'm in bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you prep a few? Do you know what I mean? Like Sunday, like
I feel like I don't like overnight oats that have been done for more than 2 days.
Why? What's
The
the wrong?
almonds
They're
are
all sloppy.
The almond milk goes a bit funny.
Oh, do you use almond milk? Why?
Yeah, just always have done.
Just use normal milk. It's better for you.
well, I don't like normal milk.
So yeah, it's got more protein in. It's better for you.
Yeah, no, but I don't like it.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like we've
I don't
digressed.
even have oat milk. I mean, I don't have me oats with milk though. I have it with
Water.
yogurt.
Yogurt. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Do you
yeah.
put milk in?
Yeah.
I don't in
I
overnight
just do
oats.
oats protein powder, unsweetened almond milk, berries, and a bit of peanut butter or Biscoff.
That sounds nice.
It does sound nice, but that's
Just
not
not
how I
almond
make how I make
Yeah,
overnight
I make
oats.
mine.
I do yogurt, oats, like fruit, honey.
Uh-huh.
So
I
don't
feel like
put
with
milk
yogurt
and
it's too
fruit.
stodgy.
I like yogurt.
I'll have to make you mine. You can make me yours. And we'll see who would prefer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about?
We were talking about
Bedtime, set sleep time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sleep routine, a regular sleep
Yeah.
routine.
And giving yourself like a good bedtime routine to help you switch off. So whether that be like, skincare, brushing your teeth, reading 10 pages of your book overnight, or just after 10 minutes of your book.
Reading book is another thing. Like we were talking about switching
Yeah.
off when you're
Yeah.
stressed.
I think that's such
reading
a-
your book.
it's-
I
So whether it
can't
be
stay
like-
awake when I read my book.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Hayley,
If they're like, it's annoying because you're in like a really good bit of your book and you're like trying to stay
trying to
awake.
like.
Well,
familiarise with
I
them.
don't. Obviously, I don't really read. Like
don't
I
either.
try and read, but I can't get through a book. So I started reading Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, you into
Oh
it?
my god!
I'm loving life.
Charlie,
So
I'm
now-
so happy.
I know, you're
gonna
proud of me.
You're going to know all the spells.
I
that
know,
talk about
them
and everything.
anyway, but I'll know them even more now. But
love.
anyway, I'm the same. Like, I
Yeah,
can get into
Harry
bed,
Potter's great.
I can read the book, like, and I'm the same. My eyes are like rolling to the back of my head, so it really does help.
Yeah, do you know what I would say as well? Like, if you're not great at like physically reading, or maybe reading is an issue,
Listening,
audiobooks,
yeah.
like they're great. Or like, I don't know, like podcasts, audiobooks, sleep stories, what we've just been talking about, that Harry Styles one. When I was doing IVF every night, well, we went and stayed in this house, and me and my mates, and Fran wasn't there, and I was in a room on my own, and it was a really scary old house. I hated it. And I was listening to Harry Styles, Matthew McConaughey, and is it Idris Elba?
Oh yeah, he does them, doesn't
Does he
he?
do one as well?
Yeah.
And I listened to
love his
one
voice.
night. I was really struggling. I listened to all three of them back to back. But normally I never get to the end of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, them sleep stories are great. But listening to an audiobook would do. Because even, when you're on a long flight and you have a podcast in your ears, I generally fall
Just doze
asleep.
off. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And
I
you wake
fall
up
asleep.
and it's finished. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh gosh, we need to go back and listen to that.
Yeah.
So they'll all help with drifting off. Sleep routine, I'm big on. Like I was saying to you in the car here, wasn't I? So like once it hits 8 o'clock, I'm right, okay, I need to be asleep by 9. So I need to go upstairs, do my skincare, have a shower, brush my teeth, get my jammies on. By the time I've done all that, I'm like getting into bed for like 9 o'clock.
And your
If I
body
wanna-
knows that's your routine, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like even like the smells, I feel like evening skincare puts like calming smells in anyway. Like even the smells of doing all that, the process of doing it all is like getting me ready.
Relaxing.
I feel like as well, that keeps me away from my phone. When I'm getting ready for bed, I'm not on my phone. And then when I jump in, I'm feeling settled. Might put the telly on for a bit, depending on what time I'm up in the morning. Which usually I'm getting up at 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I won't be up long. So yeah, I feel like that's important. And the way that I would work that as well, because quite a lot of the people who I work with don't really have like a sleep routine. It's all scatty. So, I don't know, I just go to bed when I feel tired. I'm like, well, we can't really do that. It's like eating meals. You don't only eat when you feel hungry. You eat at regular intervals. That's what your body wants. It craves routine. So if you need to get up at 7 o'clock every morning to get 7 hours, ideally we're aiming for 8. So let's say 8 hours, you need to be like in bed by 11.
Yeah.
So that means you just need to start winding down at 10. And so it's like work backwards 9 hours, and that's like when you should start winding down.
I don't get these people like, oh yeah, I go to sleep at like 12:30 every night. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
Like, okay, they're not up as early as us, but even if you're still up at like 7, 7:30, that's still not enough,
Your
is it?
quality of sleep isn't as good either.
No,
If you're going to
don't.
sleep
You
later.
need the sleep cycles, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing to bear in mind would be caffeine.
Yeah, but what I was just going to say then though, before people stay up late, especially I find parents, so mums, because they're like, well, I've put the kids to bed.
And now
I
it's
don't
my
want
time.
them. Yeah. And they'll end up, and well, what are you doing? And they're like, just scrolling on my phone. And I'm like,
Yeah.
your brain actually would prefer it if you went to sleep. Your
Switched
body
off.
would feel better if you actually went to sleep. Which I know is hard because they don't feel like they get a minute. They're always overstimulated and very rushed. But rather than that hour or 2 hours of you scrolling, you would feel much better overall for getting yourself off to sleep. Like if your kids go to bed at 9, you go to bed at 9, you'd be feeling amazing by the time the morning comes. Maybe you can get out of bed an hour earlier than your kids to do an hour for you before they, catapult you into the chaotic day. Yeah. I always feel like that's a better way to do it for parents. Like rather than having that hour or 2 at the end, try and get up an hour before them.
And you're fresh.
Yeah. And so that you can do your workout or your yoga or look after your food or get yourself ready so that you feel nice before they get up. Let's go back to what you said then.
It
Me,
was
caffeine.
Sammy.
Yeah.
I said about limiting caffeine because that's something that I never used to. It was actually you shouted at me, wasn't it? About a year or so ago. Because when I was still teaching, like it was my routine that the kids would go at like 3:30 and then I'd sit marking my books with a coffee at like 4:30. But I would never have coffee that late now because, I'd go to the gym, like I'd go to CrossFit at like 5:30, 6. I'd have a knocko, which is like 2 coffees in one, isn't it? At like 6:30, 7. And then I'd wonder why I wasn't sleeping properly.
So I only know that because I learned that the hard way as well. So I just used to, when I was struggling with sleep, it just be caffeine, coffee after coffee. And I was just one of those like absolute maniacs who just drank black coffee like all day, every day. And it really does affect your sleep. And I say to people, because we've probably all heard, oh, well, I can have a coffee and then go straight to sleep.
Yeah.
Like there's loads of people who have a coffee before bed, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's like
I
when you go
used
for like
to.
a meal, isn't it? And you're like, do you want coffee at the end of your meal? And you think, well, no, not really.
Yeah,
but loads of people do.
People do. Well, that is, they do that to help them digest their food.
Oh.
That's like the reason for that, or to pick them up
Yeah,
after
because
feeling
they're feeling
sluggish.
sluggish. I do it when I'm on
European thing, isn't
holiday.
it?
When I'm on holiday, I do it.
I do. We
Because
always get an espresso after a
that's
meal
what I do.
when we're away. We probably will tonight as well because I've got that comedy club because I'm going to be flagging. It's at my bedtime. It's at 8 o'clock. So caffeine, I usually say cut off is 12 o'clock. No caffeine after lunch. That's usually what I'm trying to encourage clients to do. And then if you don't have that, if you stop having caffeine, then at least then you've got more chance to have better quality sleep, because the issue is not getting to sleep. And this is what I say to people. You could have caffeine in your system and you could get to sleep.
Yeah.
It's your quality.
The quality of sleep will not be restorative. Like you won't get the deep sleep and REM sleep that your body needs for you to wake up feeling refreshed. Because people who drink coffee all day, they wake up feeling groggy.
Yeah.
And it's because it's like and then they need more caffeine, and it's like this vicious cycle. Whereas if you stop and let yourself like properly come up, like have no caffeine in your system, you don't. I also think as well, like caffeine before food's not ideal. Feel like food first, then coffee. That's good. Do you not agree?
Well, when I'm up at 6, when I'm up at 5 a.m. and I've got no.
I eat chicken
I
sausages.
don't hydrate before I caffeinate either.
Do you eat chicken sausages at 5?
You don't drink water first?
No.
Okay.
Sammy, you're breaking all the rules.
Just look for myself on
Okay,
the
you
bus.
do that.
But I get up and have an espresso.
Yeah, no, I don't recommend that. I think drink at least a pint of water.
And I never should, but I don't.
Yeah, so
I am naughty though, because sometimes like I'll start work at 6 and it'll get to like 9 o'clock and I've done back-to-back clients and all I've done is drunk me an espresso flask. I haven't drunk any water.
So do you tell clients to drink water?
Yeah.
So you should drink water.
I know.
Practice what you preach.
I know what happened to leading by example.
I know. But yeah.
So Sammy, bit of coaching tips for you. Let's drink some more water.
I know. I'm trying to drink a whole glass.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, so caffeine, it can affect sleep quality. So if you want to wake up more refreshed, then stop drinking caffeine so late.
Yeah.
What else wouldn't? Comfortable sleep environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, so a nice cool room, comfy
Dark.
beds.
Don't
dark.
work in the room.
Yeah, don't work in the same room that you. So like, there's loads of our clients, isn't there, who just get the laptop up and work like in beds and stuff. And I feel like your work environment should definitely be separate to your living environment. That's why will go to like a coffee shop to get stuff done.
Yeah. I can't work from home. Like I struggle with that.
Yeah.
Like I'll be sat there like working, but then I'll just be like, oh, I need to go in and do the washing. And like it'll be broken.
Yeah.
So I do feel like it's much better being in like a coffee shop or anywhere else apart from the home.
Because that's like your workspace, you're in work zone. That's what my office is at home. Like before I had that office, I felt like I didn't really
Nowhere
like
to go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like sometimes.
Yeah. Whereas like now that I've got that space and I really like it in there and I feel like this is work mode. And if I do try and do bits of work like downstairs on the couch, I don't feel like it's good
Productive.
quality.
Yeah.
I'm all distracted and the telly's there and you know what I mean? Like it's just a bit more, and the dog is wanting to go in and out and bringing me toys. Whereas in the office, she's just chill. She knows that's where we chill. Yeah. So yeah, like working in a different environment so that it's not like a stressful kind of space. Also, I would say lights. So think about like the lights that are on your TV, your clock. Like I feel like all of that should be off, like switched off by the plug, because that can
Stimulate you.
Yeah. And no phone.
Yeah. No phone in bed.
Yeah. So like once you start your bedtime routine, that's it, no phone. I would even say like to
Charge
try
it
and
in
cut
the
off it
room.
before that. Yeah, I try and leave my work phone upstairs and out the way from like 7 o'clock. I mean, sometimes she'll all text me at like 9, 10 and I'm there.
Yeah.
But
I know when you reply late and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Haley's on her phone.
I know. But other times, like you'll see it doesn't even get delivered until like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's like, and that is hard to do because we are addicted to our screens.
Yeah.
Fully
I think as
addicted.
well when it's your business as well, like it's so hard to not respond to stuff. And like if I get in at 8 o'clock at night, I'm sat on the sofa next to Pete and I'm like replying to everyone.
Yeah.
And I feel bad, but I'm back in work at 6 a.m. I won't have a chance to reply to these until lunchtime tomorrow, and that's I don't know. You feel like you're in a catch-22, don't you?
Yeah,
so I think if you're self-employed or like your work is your phone, it's even harder.
It definitely is. It is really, really hard. Like, because that's something that I still now struggle with, and feel like it will always be like a bit of a battle. So it's having that, you need to try and force the separation from it. I do think it's good though for clients to know that you do have boundaries. You know, like I don't think my clients would ever expect me to, I'd message you late because I feel like if it's about the gym or it's about work or like my mates or whatever, but I feel like my clients would not expect me to message them at
like
9 o'clock at night. And when I wake up at 5, I don't message them. I'm waiting until it's more like a suitable time to start messaging because I don't want me to wake them up. So I do think that that's like they would understand, but I know what you mean when you're then in the gym the following morning. I wish you could schedule WhatsApp messages like you can emails.
Yeah.
You know, so that when you woke up at 5,
like send at this time.
You could do your messaging and then be like, send this at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
That would be better, wouldn't it?
Or you'd have just spent the time in the morning like to type them out, but don't press send maybe.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good idea. You'd then have to remember like everyone who you...
Well, it actually comes up now and does drafts, doesn't it?
Yeah, it comes up the top, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So sleep-wise, obviously important for health, important for body composition. Tips would be managing stress, reducing screen time, having a good sleep routine, bedtime routine. I would say waking up at like a consistent time and trying to go to sleep at a consistent time. Caffeine, alcohol.
Yeah. Oh, I never sleep well with drink, ever.
So have you got clients who are like, oh, well, I just have a glass of wine each night. So isn't it like...
I don't know how they do it. I feel groggy. Like if I even
but
like
they do.
have a sip, I know they do.
They do.
But they don't wake up feeling refreshed. They're like, oh, it helps me sleep.
Yeah.
It doesn't help you sleep though.
So alcohol is a muscle relaxant. So you know when you have that glass, that red wine and you get that like feeling up your neck and you do just relax, don't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
It might not be red wine, it could be whatever it is for you, but it helps us relax.
Easier.
And so like if someone is like, I feel like it's usually people either with kids or with like demanding jobs. Yeah, like stressful home lives. You know, if you're going through something difficult like grief or whatever, people, they're like, oh, well, it helps me drift off to sleep because if you've got a busy, active mind, it does help you relax and unwind. But your sleep quality is terrible. And then when they wake up in the morning, they feel groggy. That then affects what they eat, how much they move, and then they need another glass of wine to help them drift off again. And then it's that vicious cycle.
On it,
It's really bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. But alcohol is like horrendous for your sleep. Your body will not recover because it's trying to get rid of the alcohol out of your body. So I usually try and like nip that in the bud quite quickly with clients. And there's like pushback from it, isn't there?
Yeah.
From a lot. Especially like I feel like it was normal for like my mum's generation and stuff.
Me and Michael were having this conversation the other day. It is a proper generation thing. Like I feel like
drinking at home.
Yeah. Like my dad doesn't now. Like he doesn't have any alcohol, but he used to. Yeah. Like he'd come to Hayley's Satsy classes, but on a Friday he'd like do like a crating. Do you know what I mean? And it, like it was nothing. And then wake up, feel awful, but loves coming to the gym and feel refreshed. But I'm like, it's not a good feeling. I obviously doesn't do that anymore. And I would never even think of having alcohol in the house to drink overnight. It's just not something I'd do.
No, whereas like it is just normal routine for a lot of people, like a glass of wine after tea, or maybe it's a couple of bottles of beer after tea. And it's like, I've got family members and I genuinely worry about them a lot who do drink every single day. And like, I just know what, like, it doesn't get you straight away, but later on in life, it's just, it's very stressful for your body. Your body's never getting the right amount of sleep, so it's not recovering, your brain's not recovering, and it just causes lots of health issues as you get older. But it's not great. That's one thing. I would say if you're going to drink alcohol, I mean, we all drink. Fucking hell, you're hungover. Do you know what I mean?
Just out me like that.
I know, but we all drink. She was at a funeral, by the way, not partying. Like it's allowed. But like we all drink alcohol
in moderation.
It's fine to drink. Like no one's puritanical here, but drinking every day, it's no go. I would say one day a week is like acceptable. Your body can handle that and can recover. You can catch up on sleep. But like more than that is just
too much.
No.
I did used to have a client who drank every single day, and I would really try to wean her off, and it was like every other day. And then, but on those days, it was still like a full bottle. Some days it was 2 or 3 bottles, and like, just, it's a hard habit definitely a hard habit to break. But we need to find, if you need alcohol to go to sleep, you need to find other ways to manage whatever it is that is stopping you from going to sleep. But yeah, that's a huge one. And then the final thing that I would say was food and water. So if you eat too close to bedtime, so I know I track sleep on, you've got the Whoop, haven't you? Well, I track sleep on an Oura ring, and I know, so on a Monday night, me and Fran do yoga. So usually you should have the best night's sleep after yoga. But our tradition is, our Monday date is go to yoga. That doesn't finish until 7:30. Then we pick up a Turkish from Turquoise on the way home. So we don't start eating until like 8:15, I would say. And then I'm trying to go to sleep at like 9, 9:30. And my sleep quality on a Monday is always terrible because my resting heart rate drops. It takes ages for me resting heart rate to drop down because I'm still digesting the food. So you want to try and eat like 2 hours before you're going to sleep. It's probably a hard one for you as well, isn't it?
What we were speaking about before in the car, about me getting home and then having to eat something, but having to make it and then eat it. Like I'm eating at 9 o'clock most Mondays.
Yeah. And then you've got to try and go and sleep, but then you won't get a good quality sleep because you're still digesting your food. So it's not always possible. Like, I'm not going to change my Monday routine. I'm still going to do that. But it's ideally, you want to, if you can control it, we want to stop eating 2 hours before bedtime, or at least an hour, and like stay upright for that hour, you know, and try and move around so your food digests. And water. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm always up in the night needing a wee.
Yeah, I am always.
My toilet is downstairs now, so you know what? It's the steps. I don't mind now. I've just realised I'm getting more steps in. Yeah. But yeah, that up and down, it's annoying.
Yeah. My mate's toilet's, her only toilet's downstairs, and she said the same. When you get up in the night, it's so annoying having to go.
You want to cry.
All that way, especially in the cold and stuff like that.
Worst thing ever.
Yeah. So just not drinking, like I do always have water next to my bed. And if I am always thirsty, so I do find that one hard. But ideally, like, especially if you do struggle, try not to drink like an hour.
Too close, yeah.
An hour before. It's fine for you because you don't drink any water.
I do drink water, just not first thing in the morning. I drink loads of water, to be fair.
So maybe like your, like a little goal could be like a pint of water before your coffee each morning. Yeah. I feel like that's proper doable.
Yeah, it is. They need to start getting up earlier as well.
Right, what time do you get up?
Like 5:10, 5:15.
Yeah, that's it. You don't work far from where you live, do you?
No,
so that's fine. Fran was the one who actually got me into that hydrate before you caffeinate thing, because his routine is like, he has, I think it's something like 20. Fran counts.
Oh, you said it's called like reps.
Yeah,
counts reps.
Counts it like reps. So he'll do 5, put it down. 10, put it down. And he'll make sure he gets, I think it's 20, but it could be more knowing him. He's drank a lot of water and he's like, now I've earned me coffee. He sees it that way. Yeah. To be fair, he's always hydrated. Need to start doing that. It is a good thing.
Good idea.
Right, so do you think that's all?
I think so.
Yeah, sleep's important. We've given some tips on how to get better sleep. Can't think of anything else.
I think we covered quite a lot.
Yeah.